Yo, what's going on, guys? Slayer back here again with another video. I'm sorry that I didn't already have this video out. Life has just been busy. It's been hectic. A lot of stuff has been going on. Some of that we're going to get into in today's video. We're going to be discussing the dreaded, the dreadful, the despicable, the awful relapse. Yes, relapse. Relapse sucks, man. And I'm sure it's something that most of you are familiar with. If you're anything like me, I'm definitely familiar with it. I've relapsed probably 1,000, 2,000 times over these years. Of course, there's like that 1% out there that they quit and then they never pick up again. Like the one and done. They had their run with the booze or the drugs, whatever it might be, and they put it down for the first time and that's it. And my hats go off to you because that definitely wasn't me. That's like a foreign language. Relapse has been part of my story. It's been part of my journey. It doesn't have to be, though. You can quit and never have to pick up again, because every single time that you go back to it, it's just more pain. It's just more sorrow. It's not like you're missing out on anything if you quit sooner. The sooner that you quit, the sooner that you can get back to a fulfilling life. You can get back to your purpose, because, you know, we do have a purpose here, guys. The reason that I wanted to talk about this subject is because I'm just going to be honest, a lot of the people that I was in the rehab facility with, the treatment center, have relapsed, which really sucks. I'm not going to lie, guys, it hurts me in a way, because you feel like you're on this journey together and you make really close friends in places like that. And you don't even have to be in a place like that. When you have friends in recovery and then they relapse and they go back to that, it hurts. It really does. It can mess up your sobriety journey. It can make you go back and drink. And at first, kind of early on when I first got out, it was and there was people when I was still in the facility that I was hearing about relapsing, but it started out with people that I didn't really care for. It's like I said before, I didn't get along with everybody in the treatment center. I just didn't. But that doesn't mean that I want any of them to go back out there, back down that road, because I know where it ends. Pain, sorrow, it's literally the abyss. So I felt sad for these people. But then as time went on, it's now turned into some of my close friends have went back out there and decided to pick up that poison. My roommate actually decided to go back out there and pick up that poison. He said it was like a one and done thing, that he just, you know, had some beer one night and it's done. And I hope and I pray that that's the case. I really do. But I also know as an alcoholic that once that door is opened, it's so much easier just to fall back into it, especially when you've messed up and you had all that sobriety under your belt and you were in a rehab center, you were doing all these things, and then you go back out. It's so much easier just to drink again. I've had so many like stuttering relapses where I might drink for a couple days and then I go a couple weeks without drinking, but then I drink a few days and then I go a week. And then I drink a few days, and then now it's like I go 4 days. And next thing you know, I'm drowning myself in liquor day in, day out. Not knowing if it's 1 o'clock in the evening or it's 1 o'clock in the morning, not even knowing where I am. Just completely wrapped back up in that vicious cycle again. It happens so fast. And so I hope and I pray that he can see his way through. And that he does whatever he needs to do, and I'm here for him. And I told him that I'm here for him. Whatever he needs, just let me know, because I want to see my people succeed. I want to see you guys succeed. I want to see myself succeed. I want us to do what our purpose is, whatever we're here to, you know, and we're called for. I can tell you guys this much, and this is from personal experience. It's like I said, I've relapsed dozens of times. Unless you truly want to stop, unless you truly want, and you hear that all the time, but often the cliche sayings are usually the truest. But unless you really want deep down inside of your heart to stop, it's just never gonna work. It's just never gonna work. You can BS everybody around you. You can even BS yourself. You can make every promise in the world, and oftentimes we mean it. That's how powerful the substance of alcohol is that you can 100% mean that you're done. I am done, I quit, and a week goes by and there I am at the liquor store. There I am back at the house with the ice in the glass, pouring the drink. Now, you know what? I'm throwing that glass away, putting it in the sink, getting rid of it, because now I'm just drinking straight from the bottle. It never works. I can't tell you guys how many times I sat there and in front of loved ones, friends and family, and I went on these long-winded rants about how bad alcohol is for you and how I'm quitting and I'm going to change my life and I'm done drinking and I'm so glad to be sober. And then every about 20-30 minutes, I'm sneaking off into the bathroom and pulling a shooter out of my sock, or pulling a shooter out of my pocket, a Southern Comfort 100 proof, and slamming it and going back out. And each time that I come out of that bathroom, I'm getting drunker and drunker and drunker as I'm going on a long-winded rant about how I'm done drinking. That's the nonsense that we come up with. The nonsense. And then I wake up the next day, and of course, all that has went out the window. Now I'm going through withdrawals. Now I'm hungover. And all I care about is getting my bottle. Nothing changed. Nothing ever changed. I fall so quickly back down that rabbit hole when I pick up that. I am the type of drinker who I cannot have one drink. I just can't. I've tried so many times. Oftentimes I wish that I could be that type of drinker, but I'm not. I pick up right where I left off. And it's not even like I really pick up where I left off. I do pick up where I left off, but then I proceed to go and get even worse, which I didn't even think was possible. I really didn't think that my drinking could get worse than what it was, but it's like I was saying in the last video, it does. It's just gotten worse and worse and worse. Drinking amounts that blow even my mind. And oftentimes, we try to convince ourselves that it's going to be fun, and we romanticize and we fantasize about the drinking, and like it's going to be some grandiose thing. At least I do. Like it's just going to be the greatest time ever, and it's worth it. It's worth throwing all of this progress and work down the drain and risking everything for this feeling. And it's always disappointing. It really is. I always say that maybe the first 1 to 2 to 3 drinks of a relapse are enjoyable, and after that, the rest is downhill. It's all chaos after that. It's all chaotic after that. Because there's no willpower. If I get a 6-pack, the 6-pack is going to be gone, and I'm going to be right back at the liquor store buying a bottle. It takes way too long for beer to get me drunk. And next thing you know, I'm right there again. And I don't want to be on the streets begging people for money. I don't want to be taking my clothes and selling them. I don't want to be walking in blizzards anymore and putting myself in dangerous situations anymore, because that's where my drinking quickly gets to. I can be right back there in a week. All it takes is a week. Back then, it took me years of heavy drinking, being a terrible alcoholic to get to that level. Now, it takes me about a week and a half. And that goes from being pretty successful, doing well in life. And it goes from that to utter destruction, utter obliteration that quickly. And if you're anything like me, you're the same way. No, we can't control it. No, we can't just have one. One leads to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 18. I think about the opportunities, man, and I think about the chances that I had to stay sober. And of course, that just, I guess, wasn't my journey. I wasn't supposed to get sober until now. I wasn't supposed to stop drinking until now. That's kind of how I look at it. But I think back at all the opportunities and times that I had where I could have gotten and stayed sober. And I chose to go back out thinking that this was the better way. This was the life. And honestly, if you have nothing to lose and you just hate your existence, then that probably is the better life. You've got to find your purpose. Like I said in the beginning of the video, man, you've got to find a will. I watched a couple people, 2 people left the rehab. I watched multiple people relapse when I was in rehab over just the most dumb things, the most small things. And but they seemed big to them at the time. A lot of people were hooking up in there, and people were leaving together and going and instantly drinking again and using, and I'm sure, getting all freaky and all other types of stuff. But it's people that really, when they first got in there, they were, man, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get sober. I'm going to stay sober. And then a man or a female that quickly completely threw you off of everything that you were doing. And that's why you have to be so guarded. And if you're not ready, if you're not prepared, if you don't have those mental boundaries and barriers set up, it's just never going to work. And I'm no expert, guys. I'm just talking from experience because I've been a heavy, bad alcoholic for so long. I have a lot of experience in it. I'm no therapist. I'm no licensed specialist by any means. I'm just a drunk telling his stories, trying to give you guys the knowledge and what I've learned over time with going through this, and dealing with this horrible disease. And this disease will kill you. It will. And I'm just so sick and tired of being that person, because I have been for years, where it doesn't matter if I get a day under my belt, a week under my belt, a month, 2 months, 3 months, I always go back out and drink again. And I just don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to cause that chaos on my family. I don't want to cause that chaos on myself. I do believe in God. I do have values and morals, and drinking makes me break every single last one of them. Every single last one of them. I don't understand the concept of light drinking. I don't understand the concept of, let's just go out and have a couple drinks. That's just a waste of time to me. I don't see any purpose of it. I don't want to stop until I'm completely blacked out. Or at least till I feel absolutely great, to the point where I just don't have a care in the world. And I want to feel like that day in, day out for the rest of my life. And I think that a lot of us are like that. But it's not realistic unless you want to see an early grave and destroy all of your relationships and have nothing to your name by the time that you pass from this earth, because usually that's how it goes. Guys, just stay sober, please. Let's stay sober together. Let's stay sober together. Because it's just not worth going back out and using again. I wanted to tell you guys some rehab stories, and that will be the next video, because I had this on my mind. It has bothered me. It bothers me to know that some of my friends have went out there and went back down that road again. But I've been that guy so many times where I've completely disappeared. Nobody ever hears from me again. My last 2 treatment centers, I showed up there blackout, wasted, and then just never came back. I didn't. You guys heard the story this last time. The counselor telling me, go get, you need to go to the hospital immediately. And the time before that, I showed up at my, my IOP group, and I was hammered. It just happened to be that nobody showed up that day except for me. So it was one-on-one with me and the counselor, and I guarantee you that he knew that I was wasted out of my mind. I'm sitting there, blah, 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 again, bullshitting, flying out of my mouth about how I'm going to, do this, and I'm making all these plans and everything, and it's nothing but a crock of BS. Come on, guys, we can live in the truth. That's the thing. It's, being an alcoholic, being an addict is a full-time job, and you have to keep up on your lies, because it's lie after lie after lie after lie after lie. When we're sober, we can live in the truth. It feels so good to be in control. That is something that I can say about being sober, and not having that, I'm in control of my decisions. I don't have to worry about going and getting behind the wheel tonight when I'm wasted. I don't have to worry about sending some awful text message or doing something that's absolutely insane or horrible. I have the control to do as I wish and control my emotions. And it's an amazing, amazing feeling, because guys, here at the end of my drinking, it's gotten real, real scary, especially with me getting behind the wheel. Scary, man. Scary. Very, very scary. Close calls that I just don't, it terrifies me to my soul, and it should. It should. Oftentimes, we really do have to realize that this is life or death, I think, to get sober. And, the doctor's telling me that the last time I saw the doctors in the hospital, and just that fear of the loss of control, man. It's awful, and it feels good to just be in control and to be sober, to be able to do what I want and not have all these regrets day in, day out. You know what I mean? Real quick, guys, it's like I said, man, I haven't worked for, 35 days ever since that I'm not sure if I brought that up in the beginning of the video or not, but yeah, man, I didn't work for 35 days when I was in the rehab center. So I'm definitely catching up on work, catching up on money and stuff. And so I just wanted to shout out real quick the people that Cash Apped me, man, and sent me some money. It is so appreciated. If you guys didn't know, yes, I have a Cash App. It's in the description. I'll say this, like I said before, if you don't send me any money, I love you. If you do, I love you. Do never feel any, you know, like you have to do that. You don't have to, but I do have one now, and I just wanted to shout out and thank the people that sent me some money on that. So shout out to my homie Xavier, man. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for sending me some cash. Jacque, I think that's how you pronounce your name, and if that's not, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. Either way, it's a beautiful name. And thank you for sending me some money. Mona, a longtime subscriber, much love. Thank you so much for helping out. And then my homie Craig, who's also been a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel. You have also helped me out more than you know, brother. Thank you to all of you guys. I appreciate it more than you know. So yeah, guys, this is kind of I'm sorry this was kind of all over the place a little bit in this video. I feel like this video could have been better, but I tried to film like 5 times, guys. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, if you guys saw that I uploaded a video yesterday and then it disappeared, it's because I did upload a video yesterday, but I just was not happy with it at all. I just wasn't happy with it. So I deleted it, got rid of it. And then I did that like twice, man, because I just trying to film this video.